Hey there, meatheads. It's Christian with a quick message about Instacart. Hey, just checking before we go any further. Are you running low on snacks? Are you running low on any kind of beverages? I know I am, and I really don't want to go out there. So why don't we let the good folks at Instacart help us out? They can get your order delivered to your door in as little as 30 minutes. 30 minutes. That's pretty damn quick if you ask me. Not only that, they're offering our meatheads, our beloved meatheads, a special offer. You can get free priority delivering with an order of $10 or more just by clicking a link that is going to be in our episode description and our show notes. Again, you can look in our episode description, our show notes, and anywhere else we're going to be posting this link because we're going to try and get you to post it. This is a great way to support the podcast and help us keep doing what we love doing, and not just being ridiculous. So thank you again, and click that link. Get yourself some snacks. You deserve it. You really do. You had a hard week, man.
And welcome to the National Meat Treasure Podcast with your host, Sasha, a.k.a. Vladimir Putin. Are we joining the Ukrainian army?
No.
I'd like to get it out the way so we don't have to talk about it. Because I'm not talking about it.
You went right into it, bro.
Not cool. Not okay. God damn.
We don't have to get into that because I have PTSD.
You know
I can't
what?
do war talk.
Listen, I'm gonna be All Might because I'm gonna like one for all your bullshit.
Jacked in this way?
Starting that right away. Look, yes, you do.
You don't look jacked. You are jacked. You look dumb jacked in the light.
and you kind of got All Might's like hairstyle going on right now. Just like, you know,
this whole fit. This was my gym fit, and I had the hair up because it's like. I'll let you guys introduce yourself before I get into it.
Well, I went with All Might. That's as simple as that, brothers.
And you know me, dog. I'm Joey, a.k.a. Joey from the National Meat Treasure Podcast. A.k.a. Nah, I'm good with that, yeah.
Nah,
you know what? I was going to I forgot. I was going to introduce myself as 303 Bam because the video for Set Trippin' has dropped today. Set Trippin' by Joey's artist that he produces for 303 Bam.
Yeah.
Just hit the scene. So grab that on YouTube. Please.
Yes, check it out.
Plug that right in the beginning.
It was produced by my boy Dola Hits. The video was a crazy time. It was shot by our boy Ezra Gonzalez, and he made a movie. It was cool.
That shit was a movie, and there was a lot of
yes, there's a lot of ass.
There was a lot of ass.
A lot of ass.
There really was. I was great with it. I from start to end. Yeah, start to finish. Yeah, I don't know.
What's the car with the stars on the roof? Is that a Wraith or a Phantom, or is it both?
It might be both. No, it's a Wraith. It's a Wraith. Yeah, it's the Wraith. Hey, we look at the stars up in the Wraith. Hey, fuck a judge. I need me a Johnny from my K's laying low.
Wait, I didn't know there was a car called the Wraith.
That's
hard, bro. Yeah. Like Phantom was hard, but like Wraith. Bro, can you imagine pulling up like, oh, what is that car? Like that is the most gothic tropical Justin like vehicle on the planet.
I feel like you just live in a bubble of like cartoons and like television. You just have no idea what's going on. I live in Drake songs.
No, I do not live in Drake songs. Definitely no. So I don't know anything about high end cars all that much beyond just weird shit. That's all.
Rolls Royces are ugly, but doors that open up the other way are so convenient to walk out of. Holy shit. It's a crime that regular car doors open up the way they do. That's all I got.
You mean like suicide doors? Like the ones that open?
I think, aren't suicide doors the ones that go up?
No, those are
suicide doors go up.
So the ones that go up are like
DeLorean.
Yeah, suicide doors.
Not those either. Literally, like, you know how you pull your car door out and then you have to walk around it and walk in? This is you pull your car door out and walk straight in. Or when you get out of your car, you open your door and got to slide back.
That's how you know we're broke.
And you walk
forward. I can't even fathom this car. I can't even like fathom the way this works.
I was like, yo, they've been making me get out of my car backwards my whole life. Like this is someone decided only the rich people get to walk out of their car forward and straight like a normal biped.
I don't even understand this. This sounds like physically and like, you know, like something that, like against all physics. So I'm just gonna let that sink in my head, and one day I'm gonna touch one of those cars, and
I feel like it's just the car. Instead of pulling the car door out with your left hand like you normally would, you'd pull it out with your right, and it goes the entire other way. So think about it in the sense of like those cowboy saloon swinging doors, except your regular car is this, the fancy cars are this door.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So open the other way, so you can just tunneling your whole family in there.
That's not where my brain goes. It's fine. It's okay, guys. Yeah.
It's all the marijuana. Also, I will.
It's all the monkeys in my brain. Just like
I haven't listened in a while. But somebody reminded me today that you guys are drug addicts. Specifically, you, Christian, because you did say you would suck dick for weed, and I think every episode, every like 5 episodes, it's going to remind you that you said that.
You would suck dick for a lot less than weed.
Justin will suck dick for fun. Dick. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so
I wouldn't suck dick for weed. Listen, you are sucking dick for a plant.
I'm sucking dick for commerce. Okay, you go fuck yourself. Listen, I know my worth in the market. You obviously don't. You just a hoe for free. That's what you are.
That's exactly what I am. I'm the king of pleasure, the hedonistic god.
No. It's all about
Asmodeus.
Kicking it up. You got to kick up the pay, bro.
Also, speaking of my hedonistic ways, what should my last name be? I feel like I can't just do Sasha. I was thinking Sasha Heavens.
Whoa! Oh shit!
Does it sound too porn star?
Yeah.
That's a little hard, bro. That's laying it on thick. Like Sasha, okay, like you know what? It's 2022, like we can get there. But Sasha Heavens, like you want an adult person to say that to you, that might make them always giggle. But maybe that's what you want to do.
I have decided that I'm now, because I've been meeting a lot of new people lately, and I've been introducing myself as Sasha. Being that I'm not a small Russian woman, most people don't believe that's my real name. But now I'm gonna put my foot on it and just be like, "What the fuck do you mean that's not my real name?" Like I'm gonna start getting super offended because it's not like my name is listed anywhere else, right? Like they're just like, I'm just like, "Oh, I'm Sasha," and they're like, "Oh, what's your real name?" And I'm like, "Excuse the fuck out of me." What the fuck do you mean? What's my real name?
Flip their shit.
Like my name is Daddy, bitch.
I'm gonna find a way at work tomorrow to say "excuse the fuck out of me" because that is fantastic. Hopefully, that sounds like that'll be a bad experience. I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm gonna just say.
Speaking of me being a hardback nigga, I was having a conversation today, and so I have this running joke on my TikTok that if you got bullied in like middle school or like high school, and you make people aware of that in your 30s, chances are you probably deserved it. Because like nothing that happened to you back then, like things children were doing to you when you were a child shouldn't matter to you as much these days, especially, now that we're 30. Even if you don't go outside, like we've all seen that TV show trope of like, the jock picks on the nerd, but the jock goes home and gets his ass beat by his dad. Like everyone's got their own struggles.
Yeah,
sure. I just meet a lot of people, particularly in our little scene of emo punk kids, that kind of made getting picked on like a relatively large part of their personality into adulthood. And a friend of mine was a couple people have kind of like argued with me in my TikTok just about like, oh, everybody's feelings are valid. So I just want to know, like, what are your guys' relationships with bullies? Were you a bully? Have you been bullied? Do you know any bullies now that are 30 and work in tech? And they're just normal people.
I didn't get bullied. Okay, I got jumped. Like it wasn't just like
very different. That's very different.
I didn't get bullied. Like I offended somebody in a set and got met by like 15 Crips. Like that's what I got met with. Like I didn't get like, oh, like Christian's gonna get a wedgie. Like that didn't exist in my world. It's like you either getting stabbed or just like lump the fuck up. So I don't know. Like, so I don't hold anything against them because it wasn't like one particular person that was like picking on me. It was just kind of an us versus them kind of thing and a target. And I was a target because I was stupid enough and I was kind of like just slow enough and not on the uptake on things or just in the wrong place, the wrong time. And That's how I learned to defend myself really quickly, because there's like no other choice. Like, it's either like you either get your fucking, like, literally your fucking shit kicked in every week, or you learn how to defend yourself. So I can sympathize with people who have been bullied and it was something that was super detrimental and fucked them up and shit. Um, and I'm not going to say that everyone's got to be like, the kind of person where they got to, you know, uh, start kicking ass, because that's not everybody's like fucking personality, right?
Right.
Like, but at the same time, you got to stick up for yourself. But again, like, I don't know, you all three of us are from like the 5 boroughs, and it was not ever like there was no like Timothy that was like fucking my shit up every week. Like,
Right.
I would have
Right.
just fucked up
Right.
Timothy.
Woo,
Like,
Yes.
it
the
like
spirit is 9%.
but
I'm sorry.
when
Sorry, cut you
Timothy,
off.
no, it's cool. But when Timothy's got like 12 other gang members with him, like it's a whole different story. Like, it's like, okay, it's not just Timothy. It's like this whole fucking building now wants to kill me for whatever dumb reason. Like that's what it could be. And I don't know. Bullies are one of those things where I'm sure it shapes people, but you can do enough to it where it doesn't have to like be the only thing you talk about into your 30s. Like, maybe like you're like 17 and you talk about your bullies. That's that's the extent. Like, I don't know. I'm
What's
not
your
giving you much
experience,
more of that.
Joseph?
Um, I can't say I was ever bullied. I definitely wasn't a bully. Like we all get teased and picked on in different ways, even to points where like turns into like some kind of physical altercation and shit like that. But um, growing up in New York City, it's kind of like, I mean, maybe when you're a kid, you get bullied a little bit. All right, look, I feel, of course, everyone's situation is different. So if some shit that was really fucked up happened to you and it damaged you, that's fucked up. I know a lot of kids who may have been picked on, may have been like who would be easy targets in my head. The nerdier kids I went to school with, the softer kids, easier targets. They all have turned out okay. So that says something there. Um, but like being from New York City, it's I feel like it's it's like a harsher reality. It's like we don't get the jocks that are jerks. You get bad kids who come from bad neighborhoods and bad homes who don't know anything
I
but
mean, how many
like
schools in
like
New York City don't
violence.
even have a division sports team? Like, there's nothing else for kids to focus on
Yeah.
except for like being, what their whole
Their environment.
communities kind of
Yeah.
shown
Yeah.
them to be.
Yeah.
There's like nothing else to look forward to. So, like,
Yeah.
come on, like,
Yeah, I think
you're not gonna look for somebody in East New York and like, think that they're gonna be.
yeah, I think this conversation for us kind of happens in a vacuum because
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
we're all from New York. So, and it's funny, Christian, you and I have a
Right.
similar experience because I was telling this person that I was having this conversation with earlier. I was like, I mean, like I wasn't bullied. I was just in a dangerous environment. Like I went to
Yeah,
Hillcrest High School, which
yeah.
like so okay. So I didn't like give her like the
Hillcrest
whole
is one
ins
of
and
the most
outs, but I
dangerous schools
was.
in
Yeah,
In the
it
city. Yeah.
was.
the
It
whole
never
city.
left top four the entire time.
Yeah.
I remember it was so funny because I remember in 7th grade. So this is a little New York history for you guys. So not history, but I don't know. I guess they set up a public schooling back in the early 2000s. So you went to junior high, right? And then you could obviously New York has a plethora of different schools, right? So you can apply to different high schools, but if you don't get into them, you go to your zone school, right? Now I didn't really care to apply. No, I did apply to high schools, applied to art schools. I didn't get into any of them, but I kind of fucked up because I didn't really know that my zone school was fucking Hillcrest High School. Uh, in my 8th grade year, it was the most dangerous high school in New York. I think when I entered, it had gotten an award for most improved high school because it dropped to third, and it never it never left top four the entire time I was there, like top five. So, and again, this wasn't like the movies. This wasn't fucking a Molly Ringwald movie where the graduating
Yeah.
class is 50 people and the guy has time to sit there and read all the names like come up for your
Right.
diploma, Angela Anderson. No, like
No.
my school was 3,000 deep. So
Yeah.
3,000 deep kids, crowded public New York high school. And I was telling this person, I was like, a lot of the altercations, like actually one of my first viral TikToks was about this. So in my high school, it was Hillcrest, and there was also Jamaica High School, like down the street. And what would happen was kids from Jamaica
Would
would
come to
sneak
your
into
school.
Hillcrest and vice versa. So that I guess they can like fuck around and there was no record of them, which was stupid because like actual police patrolled my school
Yeah,
and used
exactly.
like a full blown trespassing charge. But whatever, I don't know. They're dumb. But like completely random fucking kids would come in and start fights with other kids. Now, my group of kids was like the goth, emo fucking nerds. And it was so funny because like I was kind of the bitch of those kids because they were all getting pussy and I wasn't. But, you know, I dressed the part. I had my 4XL tees, my Soldier Boy. Actually, no, Soldier Boy wasn't popular until after I was
No,
in high
not yet.
No,
Yeah.
it was not.
But I had my
You're
4XL
older.
tees, my Echo jeans, and I guess I would like defend some of the other kids when they got into it. When
You
someone
were their
picked on them.
champion. You were the
Yeah.
goth champion.
Yeah, and then kids would sneak into the school specifically to fight me.
They heard about it.
Because I was like the weird,
were
the nigga who could fight, who defends the weird niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
were their
the rah,
champion.
rah, rah, kill yourself niggas.
The rockers.
You were their
The
champion.
rockers.
You were their proxy.
Yeah,
you were there.
It's so funny because like nobody believed me on TikTok, and then one of my boys, shout out to my boy Igor, he like hopped in the comments like, "Yo, you were that guy."
It's crazy
But,
that nobody.
yeah,
believes
so
you
like
on
my high
TikTok.
school
That's
experience
weird.
was like fighting like actual gang members, niggas who were like 23 and just hung out in the high school.
Oh, God, the
I remember there was
worst.
this one kid, bro. I remember, so you know, I actually told this story on TikTok and didn't really catch any ground, but I remember. Shout out to fucking Anthony. I remember this kid's name like the back of my. So this kid, right, big fucking light skinned kid. Like he looked like fucking the pig from the Turtles, like Bebop or Rocksteady, whichever one it was. Big pink motherfucker. Like he was super light skinned, had this like giant mole. He looked like Trunchbull actually, like Trunchbull from fucking Madeline. Just a
Matilda.
like an overly big motherfucking high schooler, right? And
Yeah.
we weren't like enemies, but we weren't friends. We're like acquainted, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely cooler than you, so you're not a fucking threat."
Right.
And I remember we're in Spanish class one day, and there's a substitute. So you know, when you have a sub in a public fucking New York school, you just sit there and do fucking nothing all day. You just bullshit. So it's me and him and a bunch of other kids in a circle, and we're all exchanging jokes. You know, your sneakers is whack. Your mama this, da 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 da. All in good fun, just sharpening our tongues, right? But so this nigga says to me, he says, "Yo, my fucking outfit, my jacket costs more than your whole outfit." Which you know, in hindsight, is a stupid fucking comparison because
Yes.
it was a North Face jacket. It was $350. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Coats
Like, what items of clothes could cost possibly $350? Like, I'm wearing
My car
right now. I'm wearing like
costs
$12
more than your skateboard. Like, yeah, it does.
But like, he was very correct. I had the Sunwear
Right.
4XL tall tee with a tight neck. I had Lot 29 jeans, probably like $60-$70, and blue and white Air Force Ones that were on sale, maybe $120. So yes, he definitely had on. The t-shirt was like $2, so he definitely had on more money than me. But I said to him, my 15-year-old self, I said to him, I would have expensive clothes too if I had something to compensate for, without missing a fucking beat. This man ran across the classroom, speared me into the wall, and just starts fucking beating on me. And I'm on the ground like this, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna fight him back because if I get suspended, my mom is gonna fuck me up. Like I could run from this nigga, I cannot run from my mother. So I'm just down there like this, and I'm like laughing because like that was what got you. We were exchanging. This is a 40-minute class, bro. We're exchanging jokes, shitting on each other. You stink. Your eyebrows thick. Your shoes dirty. You get no pussy. You eat pussy. You're gross because that was like a thing in high school. Like, oh my god, you're gross because you eat pussy. Just
really hit a nerve.
Yeah. You got a lazy eye. You get no bitches, and like
you're trying to compensate,
insinuating that you may have a small penis. He went wild. So I'm like getting. Like I'm just blocking all his hits, and I'm laughing my ass off, bro. So I'm like,
his
damn,
penis must be massively small, like
micro. It's probably, you know what? If Anthony, if you ever hear this, you probably have an average size penis. You know, with high school, we're all going through it. We don't know what the fuck dicks are supposed to be like.
Yeah, nobody does. It's a mystery. Dicks are.
Yeah, and I remember we went through that, and like he saw that I was unscathed, so I guess he spread a rumor that I said that I fucked him up so that he had an excuse to fight me again. And I don't think we ever fought again, but he would send goons to like come after me. So I remember one time I walked into gym class, bro, and I remember that one of his friends, I forgot to say his name, but like he was a skinny, like fucking black and mild looking nigga. And I'm like, he was fucking black and mild. He was just.
Do people even know what a black and mild is anymore? Like, I feel like people don't even like. There's like two people that smoke black and milds, and that's my boy Danny, and maybe like the guy that's always on the corner. But like,
oh yeah, no,
go ahead.
Detroit niggas definitely smoke black and milds on the regular.
God,
this is a murder capital. People,
I do love them. I love them.
They smell nice.
But he like. One of his boys was like, I'm walking to gym class, and one of his boys is like running towards me, and I'm just like, I'm thinking he's like doing laps for the gym class because they make us do laps. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, what up, man? He's like, yeah, what up, nigga? And just full force punches me in the face. And I didn't even drop. Because at this point in my high school career, like I was fighting strangers every other day. So this random nigga punching me was just like, again, like another day at the office. So like I didn't drop because I had a very iron jaw at the time.
That was very One Punch Man of you.
I just kind of spun. I looked up and I'm like, "Oh, what was that for?" And he was kind of shook because he was like, "What the fuck, nigga?" Like I was running full speed. And he's like, "You talking shit about Anthony?" And I was like, "Nah, I really wasn't. But like, does he want to fight me again or what? What are we doing?" Like I was very much like Daria about this shit at that point. But it's so funny because like I tell some people this, like some of these shit I went through in high school, and they're like, oh my God, you went through such trials, such tribulations. How are you dealing? Do you need to see a therapist? I'm like, no, like I'm good. Like that's just being a kid. Because like even if none of that happened, I would still go play with my friends after school and do some kind of like horseplay bullshit activity where we hurt each other. Dodgeball, fucking punching. So like bullying, like carrying bully, like knowing like I could have gotten killed by some of these people because some of these people were certified. Like knowing that I could have got murdered and I don't carry that shit with me. I just feel like if you like. You know, if some dude farted on your lunch in fucking Minnesota, the Minnesota high school you went to, I feel like, and that's the trial you went through. Like you're blessed. Yeah. You're blessed if that's like my tooth is still loose from that running punch. By the way,
damn, damn.
I didn't drop. That's all that matters. But you know, and I was also telling her, I was like, listen, Ma, like you're 30, you definitely know somebody in real life who was a huge bully in high school. Who was just like, yeah, I was going through shit. So, like, there's nuance. Like, you understand that there's... Because I know... Like, and that's the thing, too. Like, I know way more people who were bullied and carried that within their whole life rather than people who were bullies and are still, like, dickheads or, like, in prison. Like, they're just kind of, like... I mean, aside from, like, niggas who, like, actually were on track to prison. But, like, regular me, they're just, like, regular guys now. They're just like, oh, yeah, I was going through stuff.
That or they're police officers. Let's just
pause, nigga. God damn, you didn't have to hit him that hard. You didn't have to do him like that. Jesus. Damn, son, where'd you find this one?
That's exactly what that is.
Don DeMarco.
Bro,
you know what's interesting is that like also people were kids. You know, I have a bad habit, but I've been breaking out of it of like seeing someone and be like judging them, being like, oh, that nigga did this shit, that shit. And then I'm like, bro, that was 16 years ago.
Like, I'm saying.
Like, damn, bro. Like, let him live. Like, you've been going through your own stuff and you feel like you're at this great mental place finally in your life. Damn, bro, the nigga was a 16-year-old. Like,
yeah, it's really hard to I think here's one little free piece of therapy that I'll give you guys. What my therapist gave me as a tool. Whenever I try to look at people's actions and try to rationalize them, what I practice as an exercise was just saying they did what they had to do at the moment. That was the right decision for them. Wow. There's no other way for me to rationalize it. It doesn't like, you know, and these are things that I'm looking at the past, you know, with my family. Why didn't I get this? Why didn't I get the chance to do this? And it's just, especially when it comes to people that you still want to have in your life, they're going to end up doing things to protect themselves, protect you. And you're just going to have to kind of just say, that's it. I have to accept it. So there it is. I don't know why I said that, but it's the fucking truth.
Show me
It's
with
the
the
only
snaps.
the only truth I can give myself. I can look at people's actions and try to rationalize why somebody would purposely try to harm me, or purposely maybe not purposely, like in their own mind they're just moving through motions and not understanding how, there's fallout from those actions, and you just can't hold you just you have to kind of let it go. You 100% have to understand that everyone is going through their own version of their hell, and they're trying to figure it out, and sometimes you're a casualty. You're gonna have to move on eventually,
Mm-hmm.
like unless
Mm-hmm.
like that was
Also,
Real shit.
shout out to the people that I bullied from ages like 18 to 22 at little punk and hardcore metal shows, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to them because I didn't tell the person I was talking to that, but like I did re-up and I got my bullying in. But
you left
to be
that
fair,
part out. You left
to be
out.
fair,
You were a type
I
an
was-
adult at that time, but you
I
were going
was
through
homeless
shit.
though.
Yeah,
I was
you were.
homeless most of that
Angry.
time, so I was angry. I need to take it out on somebody.
This nigga was cold, bro. He's cold.
Cold. Really?
I
cold,
did what
bro.
I had to do.
You feel me?
Yeah. No. I get it. There was a lot of anger in those, and that's okay. Like that, you're not. I mean, I don't particularly remember it as you bullying certain people. I think you were just bullying the world for a little bit. Like you were just kind of like getting your own licks
Dude,
in after it
I
had
was
kicked
off
your
my
ass.
shit. Were you there that night where I fucking like ran down Broadway and just kicked in a bunch of store windows down the
Yeah.
whole block?
Yeah.
I was wilding.
I know, man. Listen, man.
Why
There's
did
a
I not
lot
get
of
arrested?
shit. There's a lot of dumb shit like that you do, and especially like so like this kind of brings me into something that I was watching, and I kind of tie these kind of things in with you guys. But do you guys like the Explained series? Have you guys ever
Yes.
watched that? Okay, so there's one that they talk about like teen minds and how that we have this expectation for like once a person reaches 18 or even 21 that's it, like
Mhm.
they finally figured it out. And like obviously there's a lot of like inherent like things that your brain does, like risk, like shit like that, like kicking windows or like jumping off of fucking sound stages, what like doing all kinds of dumb shit that we did like with no fucking care. It's because our brains are not fully formed, and a lot of those a lot of the research that it points to is that it doesn't really become a fully adult brain. We don't become a fully adult brain until we're 25, which kind of links up like with everything that like happened, like
Yeah.
so like don't hold yourself accountable, Jay. Sash, say Sasha.
Also,
Sashay.
by the way, you don't have to feel bad for calling me Justin or Jay. Like I feel like
I
people
don't
think this is like a
I
weird
need to
transition
correct
for me.
myself.
Right.
I need to correct
No,
myself.
Your
I
dead
feel
name.
like people think this is like a weird transition for me, but like I've never gone by my real name. like I've
You've
always
never.
been Trop or Tropical Justin. I'm just past Trop, so I'm on something new. But like no, most people don't call me Justin.
Right.
I love you. I'll
And if
always
you
I'll
do, it's
always do
fine.
it. I was also gonna share this one thing with you, that like it's really nice that you give people the space to do that, because it's only because you've known people for so long and you can do that. But I knew this one person who started to transition, and she was trans. I think she went back to she, if I'm correct, but at the time she was transitioning to a male, and I had accidentally said, I guess, like a female pronoun, and her friend like came out of nowhere and I was like, do you know that she's, I was like,
Like, oh, my bad.
I'm sorry,
Dude, I can't stand
I
that version.
apologize.
First of all, I gotta give some free promo to this shit, bro.
What is that?
Voodoo Ranger?
1 in 3, 4. I'm fucked up right now. This is 9.5%.
Oh,
Hold on, let me get this to the camera so you boys can get at this.
ladies and gentlemen,
Voodoo
welcome
Ranger.
to the
Voodoo
national. Welcome to the National Meat Treasure Podcast. It's about to get lit now.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I could also it also because I'm tired. So I've been trying to wake up earlier for the gym, so I've been waking up at like 6:45. But like I feel like by Friday that kind of fucks because my workout sucked today. I was just really I wasn't even tired. It was just like you ever just like your mood is down and you can't really pinpoint why. Like I was caffeinated. I mean, obviously there was the snow too. Like it was overcast. That's not depression. Also, like I was like I don't have the. No, I'm just I get into phases where I like can't
Does food
differentiate
not taste
between.
good?
Oh, food is always good. No, I
Oh
just get
man.
into phases where I'm like I don't have depression. I'm just sad right now. I don't have anxiety. I'm just anxious right now. Because I don't really have anxiety. I don't have I moved to a new place on a whim. I don't really have anxiety.
Right.
Yo, I'm fucked up off this shit. Like this is 1 3/4. I overdid it with this 9.5.
Come on, finish it. Just finish it. Finish it for the pod. Let's
bully him into it.
Let's just bully.
You know, this is definitely like the screen is double
plus
right
ultra.
now.
Plus ultra, bro. Come on. Give me a little. Like give me a little.
For the listeners who
just drive somewhere.
For the listeners who don't know.
No, don't drive. We already know. No, thank you.
For the listeners who don't know, we were talking about bullies, and Sasha said it. He alluded to somewhat bullying people, and Christian said he didn't. These two niggas are demons.
Hold on.
Back in the day, they're reformed people now. But for those who don't know, like getting jumped every other day in school creates monsters, and
it does.
Man, a New York City teenager. Not a lot of things scarier in life than that.
No, there isn't. They literally made a whole movie about it and how fucking weird it is being a New York City teenager. Like kids,
dude, it was
literally
so
that fucked me up.
The perfect representation of how
there's
fucking
these two black guys
stupid.
from the Midwest, and they had a podcast, and I think there's those guys who do the like, which would you rather? And it was would you rather fight? I forgot what the question was, but it was like, would you rather fight like 100 third graders or like 10
15-year-olds?
Like 16-year-olds, and the one guy is like, where are these 16-year-olds from? Are they from Detroit? Because
nah, you're not surviving. You're not surviving if it's kids from Detroit or
honestly, where are the third graders from?
East New York. Third graders can do some damage, bro. If it's 100 of them, they, if they're from like the South Bronx and they just came out of like childcare, like one of those like voucher places, those kids are swinging for nuts. Like, bro.
So let's you want to fight like 30 third graders from the South Bronx, or like 10 or like 5 15-year-olds from, I don't know, some suburban like fucking North Dakota. What you want to do? What you want to do?
You know what? All right, so for this one,
farmers, bro. They could be farmers. Let's not.
That's what I was about to say. I was like,
they can be racist.
D1 athletes. They can also really be going somewhere.
They're
going to a high school that actually cares about them.
They can be racist.
Clean water.
Players.
Clean water. Yeah. Water is important to that school. They probably have bottling stations inside the school, so these kids are fed.
But some of those third graders from the Bronx bring knives to school. They don't have any beef yet. It's just like the cool thing because they know like that's the cool thing. So,
do you remember like the first hard kid you ever met? Mine was honestly in Staten when I was growing up. In Staten I had met dude. There's two and they were both white, which is crazy. Obviously because they were in Staten. So the first time was this kid Matt. Me and Matt were in 3rd or 2nd grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I like shot up and Matt stayed small. And for like months, I was shitting on Matt, this little white boy, because he was just so short. And he's like, I could fuck you up. And he just lost it on me one day. We were friends, but he lost it on me. I was like, let's go. He beat my ass.
That's the worst.
I had like a foot on this little man, and he just like came at me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you're small.
It's relentless. Relentless.
And then I remember there was this kid, I think his name was Devin. or Devon, something with a D, but he was like this, like he looked like fucking what's this nigga from Toy Story, Spike, the fucking
Yeah.
kid who like the toys. He looked
Yeah.
exactly like that, but he was like a fourth grader, and he was like the first kid I heard say "damn."
Sid,
You know,
not Spike.
you know what?
Sid.
I'm gonna say this. He might have been the first kid I heard say "nigga," and he was white. It might have been. I'm not
Oh
sure.
my gosh. I hope
Because
he
I know
gets
my mom
back.
wasn't using it, or at least
Right.
I
wasn't
hope he
using it
gets
about
taxed.
me. My
Right.
stepdad was definitely using it, but like that was an adult, so it was whatever. But I'm trying to remember like the first nigga I heard. I know he was the first curse. I know he said like damn and shit a lot, but I think he might have been the first nigga too. Shout out to Devin or whoever the fuck his name
I'll
was.
tell you who the first person that I encountered that was actually way harder than everyone else for no reason was this Vietnamese kid I met in 7th grade, and I like knew him for like the rest of my life, of like the rest of my school life, right? And this dude was just got scarier and scarier as the years went by, because it's like he was a direct correlation of like the Vietnam War. His family fled, like they're just tough people. Like we like shout out to like I don't know if you guys did this. Did you guys play Bloody Knuckles?
I remember
Yes,
that.
that was my favorite.
That was not
So
my favorite.
like,
That's weird.
I was pretty good. My knuckles always have, you know, they're big and chunky. So that like that was just a stupid game you played. And he would murder the entire school, including my like we would actually bleed like, and he would just laugh, just like maniacally as he did this, like just ha ha ha. And he'd have like special ways to like hurt you like as you're talking to him or like as you're trying to like posture with him, like he'll just like take you down very quickly, like that. And there was another dude, and I'm trying to remember, I think he was somewhere, I want to say somewhere like in North Africa, like he just came to the United States, and he had like some of the most ridiculous stats. I think he was like a buck 50, and he could deadlift 370, and he was like 16. Like he was just naturally gifted, like had a full vertical jump, like 36 inches, like just or whatever it was. It was just stupid shit. Like they like literally we just kept like weirded out. So those are the two people that always stand out in my head. Because that's hard. I don't know, man.
Bloody
He was nice
Knuckles
though.
was great.
Oh
So
god, so good.
little background for me. So like I feel like there was a little bit of a social hierarchy, not so much in high school, but in middle school because it was a little
Yeah.
smaller. And there was like definitively cooler kids. We would get into it sometimes, you know. But it wasn't like I never really felt like I was picked on. It was more like a back and forth. Like this group would fight my group would fight them, you know, blah 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 blah. But I never felt like I was like on the low, like super low on the totem pole because like I had a little bit of hands. Like I couldn't take all the kids, but I could take a few of them. But Bloody Knuckles was my like sodomistic time to shine. Like we would do Bloody Knuckles
sodomistic,
and like I'm sadomasochistic.
You're just butt fucking everything. You're just butt fucking everything for Bloody Knuckles. God damn it, I love Bloody Knuckles. You are scarier every day.
What's the one too where you like? You grip hands like this, like you grab hands like this, like you grip
I know what you're talking about.
You just slap.
So
I would never tap out, and motherfuckers
that.
would look at me crazy for never tapping out.
Yeah, he was nasty. You know, because there's a certain level of pain that everyone knows that they can achieve, and when there's people that just kind of go past it, you just go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah,
like just like stop, like
get some help.
Like,
I wish I would have just screamed, "I'm gonna come" every time.
Like you remember when kids were used to
that would have been
like
nuts.
a nickel or a dime, nickel or a quarter in there between their fingers to just like go straight down on your own knuckles. Oh, that was just me. Yeah, we went through some shit, bro. It was a really dark area.
There was one time. This is real sick. I went to Gateway High School for 7th grade. That was like a gifted school, whatever.
Sure.
And I remember there was one kid in there who had like a lock on his hand, like the master lock, and he would like put his finger through like the lock portion, and like he would have that like, you know, big metal bar on his hand like a ring. And one day he was just punching me in the leg, and I was like, "Keep going." He just kept punching me until I don't bruise very easily, but like I was bruised as fuck. And he's just like, "You're fucking sick, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, the fuck I am, dude." I'm fucking trash, by the way, bro.
You listen.
I gotta talk about this video again, bro.
Like
I'm fucked up, and I'm not even through this second beer. This is crazy.
You just
do an Adderall and just
unlocked.
ride this out.
Do it. Let's see it all. You unlocked a memory of mine, and shout out to this weirdo, Tiago. Like, this dude was like disgusting. Like, he was one of those like kind of punks that would like go just overboard, like into the Gigi Allen territory. Like,
so did he shit on himself?
yeah,
He's
like
a
crazy
crust
shit.
punk.
So he was super tall, and he was like this cool looking Brazilian dude. So and he had a mohawk. So like the girls would like throw themselves, but like he was actually like filthy and disgusting. Like I would see the things, and I was friends with him and just like creeped out by him all the time. Like, he did shit like, carve his arm with like a fucking safety pin all the time. He'd like pick his like scabs and shit. Just weird fucking dumb shit. He had a mattress that was like stained with lots of disgusting fluids, blood included.
Blood and
That dude
cum.
was disgusting. And I didn't, he would do that kind of shit. Like, I'm crazier than you. Like, okay, that's fine if you want to get locked
high
up.
school experience.
Adios. Like, because we both were in Queens, dude. Queens was a strange place. That's
Dude,
what happened.
I knew a kid who could cough up blood on command and cry.
That was just fucking
and
weird.
that was his like claim to fame.
That is insane, and I wish I could do that shit. That is fire.
Why would you want to do? Imagine every time you want to like bang out of work.
Hell yeah, bro! Be like, damn, I need a dip. You know what? I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you.
I would love for you to do that.
Be a good time.
I could probably cough up blood on command, but like only because I have like shitty gums. Like, if I just take a spit, it'll definitely just be bloody like a third of the time. So that's tight. This beer is fucking crazy, dude.
What'd you say it was? Voodoo Ranger what?
Voodoo Ranger Juice Force IPA, Hazy Imperial IPA.
Oh, nice. Imperial.
So, like, what are the black people on Staten like, Joey? I feel like we always focus on the white people because they're like Republican, they're racist, they're cops. But like, you are a nigga of the island. Are there more niggas of the island like yourself that you aren't related to?
Yes, a lot more. For those who don't know, I mean, it's just another borough. So there's a bunch of hoods, bunch of gangs, bunch of beef, bunch of problems. Yeah, it's just a little smaller. We don't have like, I don't know how many projects are in like Brooklyn, but like, I don't know, we got like maybe 10, maybe more housing projects out here, maybe less. I don't know. Shit gets real out here, man. It's bad. It's bad.
Oh, I've definitely hung out in some Staten hoods, not recently, but like relatively recently. I guess like within the last like 3 years. But also it was mad funny. I was in this like Spanish nigga's house. He loves Trump.
Yo, people of Latin descent who fuck with Donald Trump disappoint me the most. Like, disappointment.
Also, like, I've noticed speaking of like Hispanic, like, where does your darkness come from? You've got like 4 or 5 brothers. They're kind of lighter than you. Like, are you have a black ass father or?
You are. My oldest brother's dark. He's darker than you.
Really?
Drop
the Instagram link in the comments.
I will. Matter of fact, you remember? You can check out my family on my Instagram. My brothers are all over my IG. But you remember that picture? There was that picture of me in those white Air Forces, and you were like, "Damn, nigga, what size are your feet?" The dark dude on like my left, my oldest brother, and then my younger brother, obviously, is a lot lighter, and then my other older brother, but not the oldest, he's my complexion. But the darkness comes from my father, the Colombian side.
Okay, because I've seen pictures, but like that I know that there's a face to. There's Bam, who's lighter, and there's your Houston brother, who's like between you and Bam's color.
Nah, he's my color. If anything, he might be a little darker than me because he'd be spending time in the sun because he's in Houston. And then there's Diddy, who's dark, who is dark. That's the clan. That's the gang. But yeah, that
I would
comes
love
from
to
my
come to one of your
father's
family
side.
functions. Get some rice. Be around the
Mm.
rainbow flag
That would be fire.
Rainbow flag.
What rainbow?
or the rainbow colored people. I
Oh,
love like a Hispanic
I mean,
function because no one's the
it's
same color. Like, you go to a black function,
not.
everyone's black. You go to a white function,
oh
everyone's
yeah,
white.
yeah, yeah.
You go to a
Oh yeah.
Hispanic function, colonization on one side,
Yeah.
slavery on the other. You never know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be a mixed bag.
No, you don't.
That's
You
honestly
don't.
really true. That's really true. Like,
That's what's fire about
I'm an
about them.
Afro Latino. You know what I found out too? One of the dudes in JID or JID, he was doing a freestyle. He's also an Afro Colombian. I was like, he got dreads too. I was like,
Yo, there's a
dang,
lot
bro.
more.
Dudes in JID. JID is one guy.
Okay, so it's that nigga then. Yes. I'm thinking of Earth Gang. But yeah, I was watching some freestyle and I was like, he said he's like Afro Colombian and like he said some shit in Spanish too, and I was like, huh.
There's a lot
Weird.
more. Like
It's a lot more of me.
there's a lot more like undercover ones. Like they're just everywhere. I don't know what's going on. Like there's like all of a sudden like what was it? Encanto came out, and then I was like looking at like all the people that were playing the characters. I was like, oh, that person, and I'm like, oh shit, they are. Like I was like, I had no idea. Like everyone was just like, oh, I'm half. I'm this.
Yeah, I'm also.
And I'm like,
Speaking
oh
of
shit,
people of Latin descent,
no idea.
Because of racism, my mind just jumped in a bunch of places, and I just remembered a really funny story about my mother-in-law my mother-in-law confusing a couple like phrases. She confused wet behind the ears with wet back one time. And
that's, you don't confuse that, bro. I'm just
saying.
saying.
What is your wife's actual race? Because I never knew if she was like fully like white.
My wife is white. She is Irish and Yugoslavian.
Yeah.
Where did she get that curly ass hair from? Do Yugoslavians have curly hair?
That is a fucking mystery.
Slavic people. Slavic people do actually have curly hair, because you got to remember that they're going to be coming across a lot of people of Afro descent as well. Because
for those who don't know, Joey's wife is white. She's blue-eyed, very pale. And when I met her, her head was shaved. But when her hair grew out, it was super, super curly. So I assumed she was Hispanic of some kind, or maybe black or somewhere in there. But I guess not.
Everyone also assumes the same, especially because her stepfather, who's been in her life for a very long time, is Puerto Rican. So she was around a lot of people of Latin descent. So growing up with it, has a little bit of that New York Puerto Rican accent sometimes, which is mad funny. But luckily, my mother-in-law was did not call anyone like to their face. She was just at one point, this was a long time ago, complaining to my wife about something apparently. And she was like, and this wetback over here. And she was like, Mom, you can't say that. She was like, what? Like a rookie? She's like, no, that's not what that means.
That is not what that means. Let's clarify that for everyone out there.
I was like, I'm going to start that though. I'm going to start that now.
Let's not. Let's not. Because I'll start like, we don't need to do that.
I'm taking it back. I'm reclaiming it.
I don't think you're allowed to reclaim it.
Should I look up the history of, I don't want to say the word, like, WB.
I mean,
also love that I'm drunk and like being PC.
I feel like
you can say the origins or like what it means.
I feel like you can say wetback as long as you're not saying it directly towards them.
Yeah,
like if you're explaining it.
Yes, it is. It's a very
that's how Joe Rogan got in trouble. So I'm just gonna skip over all that because he wasn't really calling anybody that.
Of course not. But you know what?
You get a supercut for 2 minutes. Okay.
You also don't have to say nigger in explaining it, because we know it's a bad word and we can't just say the N-word.
Dude, it was so funny because like one of his things, he was like, it's such a strange word because like only one group of people can say it. Like, shut the fuck up, white man. Like, did you really have that conversation?
Like that was the deep convo.
I'm trying to find like the origins of
I can tell it to you right now.
Go for it.
It's because they have to swim over the Rio Grande, swimming across to get to.
I mean, that's what I figured, but like I feel like there had to be something deeper than that.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's just.
It was officially used. Wait, hold on. It was officially used by the U.S. government, including Dwight D. Eisenhower, in 1954 with Operation that word. A project that involved the mass deportation of illegal Mexican immigrants. Usage of the term appeared
Operation
in mainstream media
Wetback.
outlets until the 1960s.
Yeah,
I mean, well, you
that's
can't
a
say
real
it.
thing.
You're not Mexican. That's for Mexicans, right? You can't say it.
Listen,
I mean, I don't think Mexicans
You
really
can't
care,
say it.
but I'm just covering all my bases.
I'll tell you. I already told you. Listen,
Yeah.
my family comes from wetbacks. We are wetbacks. Like that is our.
Yo, actually, same.
Yeah, no, because
My
like
father
that's
got
like
into this country
same thing.
on a boat illegally.
My father,
I feel like
my
that can't be the reason why, though. I feel like there's a different reason. Like, it can't be that simple. I feel like, wait,
It
what,
is
you just
that
call them
simple.
wet?
Bro, look,
As opposed to
That
they
doesn't
wet.
came up
roll
with
off the tongue.
beaner, okay? They came up with
Yeah.
beaner, okay?
Yeah,
The people,
yeah.
like we just like beans a little more than other people.
Yeah, but like
all
that's
of a
what I'm
sudden,
saying.
we're
These
beaners.
niggas are creative with the words, though. Like,
Okay.
like
But that's what I'm saying.
beaner,
Okay.
When you
We
say
say cracker,
beaner,
and it has to do with their identity as slave owners, like be like,
ooh.
yeah,
but like
I want
like,
to
that's what I'm
touch on that
saying.
word real quick.
beaners.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like beaner, cracker, these are like one word. Like WB is two words. So where does the B come from? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But it's not really on Wikipedia.
While you try to figure that out, for any white podcast listeners, this is something I want to tell you guys. It's not cool to call yourself a cracker. It's not cool. And let me tell you why. You can make fun of yourself for being white all you want. But cracker comes not because you're white like a saltine cracker. No, it's because white slave masters used to crack whips. So when you're calling yourself a cracker, I want to fight you. Don't do it. It's not funny.
Actually, you know what's funny? So
Thank you.
I was gonna post a TikTok today, but I didn't post it because I just didn't have the time. I'll probably post it this weekend. I was like, so like, you know, like obviously my TikTok feed is like hot black women, right? Like my type. But like some of them, like I know aren't my type because their like username will be something relative to their skin color, like caramel cutie or like Asian baddie, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like so funny. And I just thought, like, what if white people did that? Eggshell Shelly,
Alabaster Ellie,
Eggshell
Pop Tart Peter, Strawberry Pop Tart Peter.
We're going.
Pop-Tart Peter's
we're going
a fire
all over
name, bro.
Bratwurst Bobby,
Ivory Anna. Or like when you get to like the pinker shades of white people, like Periwinkle. Was Periwinkle? No, that's
pink
color.
Himalayan salt patty, like.
Oh my god,
Peach Patricio. What the fuck is Patricio? What name is that? These voodoo rangers.
That's a Spanish name. That's Patricio. That's Patrick in Spanish.
Patricio.
I have a cousin named Patricio.
Yeah.
Shout out to Patricio.
Bro,
It's just black people. Some of the only people who do that. Like they're like brown skin baddie, light skin.
Yeah.
Like, what's that rapper? Light skin Keisha.
Yeah.
How did she not get canceled for that name? Because Mulatto had to change her name.
Mulatto had to.
She changed it to this Lotto. Which, by the way, I love her so much. That one song.
Did she change it to what?
Lotto.
Just Lotto?
Just Lotto.
Latto.
Lotto.
But that one song she does like plays in the club all the time that I work at, and I'm just horny the whole time. The fucking I'm a real ass thick ass bitch from the south. Oh my god, I love it. I throw that ass back and see if he could catch it. Hey. Woo! And then there's a remix. There's a remix with Trina and like it's like Trina and like three other girls. Like Trina, Saweetie.
You need a vasectomy because you really are gonna catch another baby with music like that around you.
I feel like if I caught another baby, I'd be like, all right. If like, no, I definitely wouldn't.
No, we're not doing this,
dude. Did I tell you the load I had the other day?
It's the freedom years.
Bugging out.
What?
Nah, dude. I went like 2 days. So full disclosure for the pod and the audience, I spank it probably every day. This once a day at least. But I went like 2 days without just because I wasn't thinking about it. Bro, the load was it was like an ocean, dude. Like it was like I did it like a cup handful. Like a full cup hand.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like I'm nutting. And you ever just like nut and you look at yourself nutting and you're like, this is going on a while.
Why is this still happening? How much more do I have left? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Shit was out of
it's a very weird thing.
Out of pocket.
But like I was just like, yo, this is crazy. And then like it's so funny because like so I'm growing onions in my house right now.
You were going very, very differently with that for a second. You were just
Grow
talking
an
about your
onion.
genitals, and you're like,
No,
I'm growing my pubic hair. Like, just like, okay, great. Like, thank you.
No,
Okay,
I was
onions.
so like an onion sprouted in my like I bought a bag of onions, red
Okay.
onions, and one of them like started sprouting, and I was like, are they really bad if they start sprouting, or like can I do something with this? So
Mhm.
obviously I looked it up, and like they're not bad. You just cut around where it sprouts, and then you can plant the sprouted onion and grow it. So I got this fucking red onion growing on my coffee table, but I'm like beating off and I like nut for fucking 8 minutes basically. And then like I'm nutting, I'm looking at my penis, I'm looking at the plant, I'm looking at my penis, looking at the plant. I'm just like, this is very natural right now. Like
Did you
I'm
smell
looking at
onion?
nature.
Did you smell a little onion? Like,
I don't smell the onion yet. It's still under the soil, but I do have some fenugreek sprouts in my
you
growing in
making
my
your own
fridge right now.
sprouts?
I am making my own sprouts. I've been
Wow,
curious about it
that's
for a while.
very nice.
There's
I want
there's
to.
a body so there's this guy, he's not like a bodybuilder, but he looks like one. He's kind of a circus freak, or he used to be a circus freak. He used to do like weird tricks and shit. And then he got into the bodybuilding space, and like one day I was like YouTube was just playing, and like one of his videos came up. Juji Mufu, Jujimufu, and he was going through his diet, his supplements, and one of the things he like has a shitload of is fucking fenugreek sprouts. So I was like, he was just like talking about it. He's like, you get your vegetables in, and it's got this, that, the third nutrients, and this much protein, and like, and they're really easy to grow in your house. I remember I saw this video like 2 years ago, and I just think about it every like other week, and I just never bought seeds. But now that I have the Prime membership, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy some jars, I'm gonna buy some seeds, and see how it goes. So I looked at a
Grow
YouTube
some
tutorial
food,
about
man.
growing this shit, and I was like, oh, this is mad easy. You just put it
Let's
in
go.
water, drain the water, and then rinse it for like 4 days, or like rinse it like a couple of times for every 4 days, and then suddenly you have like a bunch of sprouts. Do you
That's
see
dope.
him?
Okay. Yeah. Was
Yeah, I just looked
was
at
this
him.
the dude?
This nigga's some.
He's like a
Crazy.
jack
I
man.
feel-
He can do splits and backflips and all that other bullshit.
Yeah. He
Oh
was.
my-
He had like a bunch of viral videos, like, and he was doing all these crazy fucking things, and he's actually pretty funny.
I'm looking at a picture of him. He's in a full split, like forward and backwards, and he's drinking what seems to be some kind of coffee. And in one hand, he has a barbell up with like 3 plates on it. I don't know what the weights are, but it's
3
ridiculous.
plates on each side. That's 315.
Yeah. But
he's doing that vacuum.
One plate looks little. Like it looks like a little skinny one.
Plates. Well, I don't know what you're looking
Maybe
at. But
it
yeah,
could be
like
like
he's like an acrobat, I guess.
because it looks like 2 on the
Yeah.
other side. 2 plates, but for you gymmers, you jimmies.
Well, yeah, he's just like acrobatic shit. He was really viral a few years ago. I think he's just kind of like got to that point where enough of his shit went viral that he can just kind of chill. I don't follow him anymore, or I don't think I ever did. But every now and again, like he pops up in like my YouTube like world, and I'm like, oh, let's see, because he's not like problematic, at least.
Right.
Like, he's not like Liver King or anything. You guys don't know who Liver King is, but he looks racist.
Now I gotta look him up.
Liver King? Hold on.
Yeah, he's a guy who like, so he's basically steroided the fuck out, but he tells people like, oh no, I'm actually I only
natural
eat raw meat and liver.
Oh,
but
okay.
He did recently say what his steroid stack is, and I haven't watched that content yet, so I don't know if like, because people have done content about the content he released, so it could be like a lie that he's lying about his stack, but like he's super famous. Like I think he was on Joe Rogan.
Whoa. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's so funny because
this
like,
is a weird place to end the episode, if we're gonna be honest.
So deep
on the liver.
No, it's just so funny because a lot of people on my TikTok, I posted this one TikTok saying that like all these black nerd guys are lying when they say that like black women never wanted them. Like you're just weird. And a lot of my comments are always like, "You're not a nerd. Look at you." And I'm like, "This is the shit I nerd out about." Like, like my nerd. Like I don't fuck with Tolkien too hard, but like Liver King and like hours of like shit about supplements.
But you are a nerd. That. Literally. Okay. Let's.
And also, like, I fuck with anime and like
No, like not only did you fuck with anime, what man that wasn't a nerd do you know would actually spend their free time drawing Dragon Ball Z characters like on their notepads? Like that's not something a non-nerd does.
If I never got kicked out of my home, I would still have done that. I was thinking about, because actually that's how let's circle it back. That earlier fight with that kid Anthony, that's how I got in that circle of jokes. I was drawing. I remember the exact picture I was drawing. It was a picture of was it Gohan? It was a picture of Gohan going Super Saiyan 2, and I was drawing that, and he thought like that was cool, and then like he pulled me into the circle of niggas exchanging jokes, and then when my joke went too far, he fought me. But
I get it. Full circle. This episode has come full circle. You know what I will say about Liver King, just because this is like still shocking in my head. That the man has a picture of what seems like a very large animal's liver, which is like literally the same length of his arm.
I've seen that picture and it looked
that's
pretty
disgusting.
Liver. So liver has like probably is like the most like nutrient dense body part of like any body.
Sure.
But like most people say it's disgusting, or like
it is disgusting.
Well, no, actually, most like bodybuilders who are like normal, like not like him, they're like it's not as terrible as you would think, but like
the texture's weird. The texture's a little weird.
Very strange.
I've never had
and then the taste.
It's not a nice thing. Like people dress it up. They'll do like liver. You can have liver in so many different ways. You can have it as pate. You can have it as you can have it pureed. You can have it grilled, like sautéed with onions. People macerate it and make it into casseroles. It's all disgusting.
You say masturbate into it?
Macerate.
What is that word? That's a new word.
Yeah, I never heard it. It sounds professional stuff. I was like, that is some.
Look that up. Macerate. I've never heard that. Are you
sprinkle?
No. It means like grinding it.
Oh, okay.
Macerate.
Like you know, like when you chew on something.
MAC
is the process of preparing. Soften or become softened by soaking in liquid.
Maybe I
use
that
to grow
word wrong.
thinner or waste away, especially by fasting.
Hold on. No. We're not doing that.
What does macerate mean in cooking? What constitutes macerating? Macerating is similar to marinating, except that your soak-e is going to be fruit rather than meat or vegetables.
Well,
is that what you were trying to say?
Maybe I've been using that word wrong, I guess. Let's just.
Well, now I fucking know a new word, macerate, nigga. I never heard that shit. Yo, bro, I remember. I think it was like 12th grade when I learned the word eviscerate. Like I'm removing someone's skin. I used that shit every opportunity I could, bro.
That was part of my graffiti name when I was younger. Like when I learned the word eviscerate, I was like, this is me now.
Or like I'll say this. Grade, I learned impale. Oh, learning impale was like that was my personality for like 6 months.
We're gonna end on words that Justin used because he liked them. And the word that I'll talk about is plight, because roughly we're 30. We're gonna be 35 this year. Roughly, what was I, 19 when I heard that? We're about the same age. So that's what?
I was talking about the plight in Jamaica, and he for years was like, "Who the fuck uses the word plight?" I'm like, "It's one syllable, bro."
Yeah,
no one uses the word plight in normal just conversation. I was upset. We were in a taxi, and he's like, literally Stoneface said to me, there's a lot of concerns about the plight in Jamaica, and I'm like, we're 19. Like there's no one like. And I looked at him like I had just met this man maybe a month ago, and I was like questioning my friendship. I'm like, he used
I made a mistake, bro.
And I carry that now for 16, 17 years. I still have it on my chest. I don't understand it, but now I do a little more because we use the words we like. They sound cool.
They sound cool.
Macerate.
Well, this has been a macerated episode of Natural Meat.
It's been soaked in liquid. This is okay. I'll kick it off with saying this. Remember to click that notification and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Also rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget that we drop episodes every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Sometimes they come out a little late, but we always get them out. I promise you. And we are growing the YouTube channel. We are growing everything out there. So continue to share, engage with us, talk to us. If you are if you want us on your pod, you want to be on our pod, like let's talk about it. Get offline with me. Let's link. Let's network. If you have your own podcast and you want to talk more, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm tired. This has been a long day, guys. But I'll
been up
kick it off to you,
since
Sasha.
6:45. Yeah. So we're thinking about getting segments going. What kind of segments do you want to see? We got a single nigga who's outside. We got 2 married niggas, almost a decade. Do you want relationship segment? Do you want a fan mail section? Do you want what do you want? Like, let us know.
Fan mail.
Let's have fun, guys. Have fun with us.
Yeah, just send us random questions. Send DM
Joey
us
dick pictures.
at National Meat Treasure. Send Joey dick pictures at
Please don't send me dick
Youngmoth3
pics.
and at saying Thrillah.
Please don't send me dick pics. I mean, you can send
Find
me
me
dick
on
pics if you're gonna stream my music.
Instagram at thin.cruel.lips and TikTok. Almost 30,000. I'm like 50 people away from 30,000 followers.
Are you really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's not a lot for TikTok. Like I feel like when you start really like getting traction on TikTok when you hit like 250,000.
30K is still a lot. That's a lot of people who click that follow link.
You know what I hate too? When motherfuckers on TikTok will comment like, "You're on my For You page all the time," and then I click their shit and they don't follow me. Bitch, just follow. Like, I don't need to be like the famous nigga in your fucking like your internet. Like, just I want to be friends. Follow me at thin.cruel.lips on Instagram and TikTok. Anyway, Joey, take it over.
Check out our playlist on Spotify, National Meat Treasure, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Saint Thrillah. And check out some of my music. You can find it on my Instagram and TikTok, Saint Thrillah. And check out 303 BAM's new video for Set Trippin'. We shot it a while ago. We waited a long time for it. It came out fantastic. It's going to be fun. It's going to make you feel like you're having a good time with us when you watch the video.
We'll link it into the episode descriptions and we'll get all the new stuff. Joey's dropping 2 albums.
Rapping.
Oh yeah,
Statin, drill,
associated. Not that word. We don't do that word.
No drill, but it's fucking popping. You can get sturdy to that boy.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, that's what it is. But it's been the National Meat Treasure and peace.